The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. Excuse me, I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN just after 9 a.m. Eastern Time. We got about 24 minutes to go until the start of trading. You got markets picking things up in positive territory to kick off the trading session on Tuesday. As I mentioned yesterday, shortened trading week. Markets closed on Friday for Good Friday. We get the core PCE on Friday as markets will be closed, but we got markets picking things up in positive territory this morning. S&Ps right now, you're positive by 12 points, trading at 52.90. We're looking at a 5-minute chart right now, and we buck a little bit of the trend. We had lower prices coming off that high we had on Thursday, but yesterday we catch a small bid. Today we get quite a little bit of an acceleration back above 5,300 briefly. We give that up in a little, just to the tune of about 10 points right now. We get some durable good orders. We'll get into those in a moment. Boy, that collapse in Baltimore, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. S&Ps nonetheless positive by 11 points, trading at 52.89. NASDAQ 100, we're positive by 53 points. That's about 0.3% in the positive, 18,567. You got the Dow up 41 points this morning, 39,740. And how about the Russell? Up by about 0.6%, trading at 2109. Bitcoin, talk about a run to start the week, man. The run yesterday doing the program, we're at about 67,000. You make it overnight to 71,595. We're sitting at about 71,000 for Bitcoin right now. Crude continuing to trade higher. We have an 82 handle in the price of light sweet crude, up 21 pennies on the session. You see the acceleration yesterday, right? That acceleration beginning at about 8:30. You accelerate to a high just before 11 a.m. yesterday of 82.48, and we're just off that number right now at 82.15 in crude. Gold catching a bid again as well. You check out gold, man. You talk about it. We rise to 22. What's the number exactly? 22.2110 on the futures. We're just off that number. Gold is up $12 on the session. When you take a look at the daily, just off that high of 22.25, there's your daily. Now we get a futures rollover. Okay, so not all the price appreciation has to do with positive price action. As in yesterday, you closed at 21.72. If you just look at the chart, gold is up about $40, but part of that is rollover. So you jump from 21.72 up to about 21.95 on the rollover from futures contracts. And then we're up about $13 on the session is the number to 22.11 on gold. Silver basically flat at 24.90 so far this morning. You jump over to notes and bonds, a little bit of lower price, higher yield so far. You got the 10-year down about 4 ticks at 110.13. You got the 30-year down about 4 ticks as well at 119.06. We jump over to the VIX this morning as we get a positive market. The VIX sitting just above 13 at 13.14 right now, negative by about 5 pennies. We jump over the dollar index. A little bit of weakness, dollar off about 12 pennies at 104.11 so far this morning. And boy, we'll see how this plays out in terms of a disruption of supplies potentially. The U.S. Coast Guard joins the Baltimore Bridge Search and Rescue. Unfortunately, it looks like there were people in the water. There may potentially be cars in the water. They were doing some work on that bridge. This taking place at about 1:40 a.m. Eastern time, I think I saw somewhere. And it seems like that bridge that ship had lost propulsion. I was watching a video earlier this morning, and it looks like the ship had lost propulsion, got it back briefly, lost propulsion again, struck an area of the bridge, brought it down at about 1:40 in the morning. There were workers, it seems like, on that bridge potentially. And there was cars supposedly potentially in from sonar scanning. Yeah. Now, it is a big port in terms of where they're talking about cars, okay, coming into the East Coast. Volkswagen received and processed and shipped around 100,000 vehicles last year through Baltimore, but they are not going to be affected Beyond just the traffic that may ensue from that bridge being down, the car maker Volkswagen said in an emailed statement that the port operations are not affected because its Baltimore facility is located along the seaboard adjacent to the bridge as opposed to inland. Okay, so the company does not anticipate any impact on vessel operations, but there may be trucking delays as traffic will obviously be rerouted in the area. It's a tough one, say some prayers, keep those people in your thoughts, man, because there are at least a couple people pulled out of the water. It seems like there were more people than that, and some of the sonar that they're talking about is that there are cars in the water, so it's a rescue operation right now. There were individuals working on the bridge. We've also identified sonar that there were cars on the decks, detected vehicles in the river. So it's a sad deal, man, as they try and make sure that they can do what they can to save anybody that's out there. And yeah, it's a tough one. But yes, and I was watching a video, and it looks like the bridge, the ship had lost propulsion as it was leaving port, and they had warned Maryland officials of a possible collision. Hindsight, of course, 2020 in anything in life. But when I was watching that video, you only have a few minutes when stuff like this happens, I'm sure. But it is unfortunate when you get this type of destruction, this type of loss of life, that there was nothing that could be done in that instance to stop that, even if you talk about, any type of vehicle being able to access that ship, etc. So that story is going to play out continually, of course. And you got one of the biggest ports when it comes to cars. Port of Baltimore, the biggest handler of U.S. imports and exports of cars and light trucks, looks to be out of commission indefinitely. That bridge took 5 years to build when they got it done. 5 years is what it took. Let me see. I think I was reading that somewhere here. I thought so. All right, I'll find that. But yeah, it took about 5 years. I think it was finished in 1977. Been reading that one. Nonetheless, that story is going to continue to play out. All right. Are we going to talk about Digital World Acquisition yet? Let me see if this is the one I was looking at. No, that's not the one. All right. Let's talk about it. Why not? It's going to start trading today. And yeah, my dad was talking about this on his program last night. Yeah, I was pulling it up today. He's in there in the den. He's ready. DJT, Donald J. Trump, $64.59. Pretty remarkable, man. Do they have the fundamentals up here on Thinkorswim? I don't think they do yet. He was looking at them yesterday on his Bloomberg terminal. But nonetheless, it starts trading today. And it's going to be interesting to see how it goes, man. And one of the things he was talking about is usually you have a lockup period, but that lockup period is only determined by the board of directors. And who's on the board of directors? One of them is his son. Yeah. So don't be surprised if somehow that lockup period does not completely lock him into be unable to sell shares of that company that are losing massively, yet somehow worth billions. Trump-friendly Truth Social board to decide when he can cash in. Board members, including his son and former cabinet members. In the days where everybody falls in line, folks, I would not anticipate that this is going to be something that they're going to lock him in when he is cash hungry, gearing up for a political season. He needs cash, and starting today, he'll see a huge pile of shares he owns trading. The question is how soon he can tap into the $4 billion stake in Truth Social, and it's going to be up to the board. And is the board going to have the shareholders in mind, or is it going to have Donald J. Trump in mind? I think we all know where that's going to come down. Stay tuned, folks. We'll finish this conversation up on the other side. We'll be right back. If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the morning market kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Welcome back, folks. We got about 12 minutes to go until the opening bell. We got the S&Ps up by about 8 points right now. NASDAQ 100 up by 42, Dow up by 26, and the Russell up by 12. Markets in positive territory. To talk about some of the action this morning, let's jump over to our man Kevin Hinks. Every trading day, folks, 12 noon Eastern time, right here from the Schwab Network. Fast Market with your hosts, Kevin Hinks and Tom White. And let's jump into it. Kevin Hinks, we got higher prices in this market coming into a shortened trading week ahead of some pretty important economic data on Friday. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Tommy. Yeah, I guess all the pressure that was put on Apple, Meta, Google Alphabet yesterday because of scrutiny by the EU was just a one-day event, at least for right now. But these markets, in all honesty, Tommy, they're not running away from where we are right now. The durable goods orders this morning, the data was a little stronger than expected. It's got yields firm. You know, the U.S. dollar has weakened slightly because basically a couple days ago, 48 hours, the Bank of Japan came out and said, hey, we're going to support the yen. It's not just going to go down against the U.S. dollar. That kind of stopped the dollar in its tracks. So we're at the end of we're coming up to a holiday weekend. We're at the end of the quarter. VIX is pretty listless here. We don't have a lot of earnings. We have Carnival Cruise Line before the open tomorrow morning. We'll cover that today on Fast Market. Besides that, Tommy, there's not a lot going on. not a lot to really pique your interest other than an extension of what we've seen. You've got crude oil now over $82. So there's a couple warning flags on the horizon, but apparently with a VIX around 13, nothing that's making the market too nervous.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. We come into Easter weekend, markets close for Good Friday. We get that important PCE on Friday when the markets will be closed, and we inch towards that number. Hey, I wanted to get your take on Boeing and kind of United. As the market has been watching, we had some real action yesterday, of course, on Boeing. Their CEO stepping down, but not until the end of this year, which is kind of remarkable. Eight months he's got left until he'll relinquish that role, it appears. And then you had United out there talking about the impact that they are facing in terms of increased regulation. They trade lower yesterday. You get a little bit of a bounce. Just wanted to kind of get your feel on those two equities yesterday. They've been in the press. We all know the stories. But how are you looking at those equities, Kevin? Pretty remarkable as those stories persist. And Boeing, of course, in the news, United in the news. Seems like that story just keeps going as those companies continue to struggle.
Yeah, I think the Boeing story is significant because, frankly, it was probably something that had to happen, right? And it wasn't just the CEO leaving. Dave Calhoun will leave at the end of the year. Chairman of the board, Larry Kellner, he'll leave after the annual meeting in May. And Stan Deal, this might have been the biggest news, the president of Boeing Commercial Airlines, he left immediately. So a little more abrupt in his leaving. So three major losses, if you think about it, kind of spread out over time, right? Yesterday, immediately, and then May, and then the end of the year. So, yeah, pretty significant turnover at Boeing. Yet, Tommy, the stock has rallied off that. There's been a bit of a relief rally. It's up another 0.5% today. So, there's hope for the future for Boeing, and maybe some of these moves have brought that closer as some new management will come in. So, United, let's face it, a lot of the problems happening in these Boeing planes have been with United lately. So, and the fact that less deliveries are going to mean, more, less planes, higher prices, less deliveries from Boeing, more scrutiny from the FAA. So all in all, there's a little bit of concern around, number one, the airline industry, and number two, around United Airlines in particular.
It's a pretty open-ended question. I appreciate you giving your take, man. I just, it's pretty sensational what's going on as you surmise. Pretty remarkable. Maybe some hope for the future. And boy, United, it's got to be pretty frustrating to be at that company when, you're kind of at the behest of Boeing right now, like you put it, man. And, they're taking some of the grunt of that, and maybe they deserve it. Maybe they don't. But nonetheless, they trade lower yesterday, a little bit of an acceleration. Not really. You're up by 10 pennies today. But we'll see how they trade. So I got to ask you about DJT as we start trading today. Looks like the stock is pushing about $65. That's going to put the market cap somewhere around $7 billion, something like that. We got plenty of traders that love volatility out there. They love trading stocks that might be volatile in either direction. For traders thinking about trading this equity as we go forward, what do you think about this equity beginning to trade today with Truth Social, of course, Donald Trump, and that equity right now? I got it on the Thinkorswim platform, trading at 63.80 as we speak.
I don't have a real strong opinion either way on it. SPACs were very popular, a year ago, 18 months ago, and kind of faded into the background. This is coming out as a SPAC. We'll talk about it. We'll watch it. We'll cover it today. But
nice.
In terms of an opinion, I don't really have one, Tommy.
Fair enough, man. Just had to ask the question. I look forward to the program as it's going to be an interesting day of trading. I think we can all agree on that. Interesting months as we go forward. We'll see how that lockup period goes. Political season coming to fruition. It's going to be an interesting one. We live in interesting times, as they say. Well, you gave us a glimpse of two of the equities you're going to be talking about today. Carnival, maybe DJT. Is there a third equity you guys might be talking about on Fast Market coming up at 12 today, Kevin?
Yeah, we'll probably look at Paychex, which also has come as earnings coming out before the open tomorrow morning. Like I said, very few high-profile names coming out with the earnings between now and the end of the week when the quarter ends. So we usually do in times like this is we come out with a theme. We'll definitely cover Carnival Cruise Lines, but we'll probably look at the tech space and find something to trade there and take a look at the overall implied volatility and expected moves and things like that. So
nice.
We're putting in the final names right now, but I would expect something in the tech space, Tommy.
Well, Kevin, I appreciate the time on a busy morning as always, man. We look forward to watching you on Fast Market today at 12 o'clock, and I look forward to talking to you tomorrow as always as well. You have a great day, Kevin.
You too, Tommy. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks so much. Folks, check it out. You heard it. They're talking Carnival today. They'll talk a little bit of DJT, as you can't help but watch what's going to happen on that equity today. They'll talk some paychecks with their numbers coming out as well. And, yeah, you check out Carnival, man. Carnival trading at $17.34 right now. We hit a low of $6 at the end of 2022. A little bit of volatility towards the end of 2023, but you're off the lows of $14.44 made in late February. Carnival trading at $17.34 right now pre-market. Put it on that 5-minute chart. There you go. A little bit of volatility on the open yesterday as well, 1767. All right, folks, we're coming back for the open. S&Ps, we're up by 9. NASDAQ 100, we're up by about 50. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back for that opening bell.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in a fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The stock market is a delicate, interconnecting web of commodities, equities, and trader psychology. When one string of the web is pulled, it has a ripple effect across the broader market. This is where opportunity lies. But how are you to gather all of this information into one cohesive model when you're already spending your energy looking for any possible trade opportunities? Luckily, you don't have to worry about that, as Tom O'Brien has brought all important market news to you in one single newsletter, Market Insights. Market Insights provides a daily overview of what's happening in the indexes, bonds, gold, and more. Follow along with Tom daily as he analyzes the components that affect the overall movement of the stock market, giving insight into how each one plays either a bullish or bearish role. Tom also analyzes specific equities that he believes has the potential to make huge returns, and his track record proves his analysis right. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Don't let the market leave you in the dust.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps up by 10 points to kick off the trading session. Markets open. NASDAQ 100 we're up by 46. S&Ps trading at 52.88. Quite a price tag regardless. Russell up by about 12 points. You take a look at Bitcoin hanging tough near 71,000. I mean, you put Bitcoin on a weekly, right? And that's like showing strength. All we got was basically almost a 382 retracement from 74,000. Let's adjust that bar right now. Let's activate it on the Thinkorswim platform. Let's slide that up to hit that peak. And look at we got down to a price point, folks, of 61,020. The 382 was 60,730. Okay, that's on a weekly basis. We're going to throw it back to a daily real quickly so you can see the run we had. We almost peg it. Okay, we almost peg it to the dollar. When you're talking about the volatility that Bitcoin has, okay, you trade up to 74,415. We pull back to, as I mentioned, about 61,000 within about $300 of the perfect 382. That also correlated to the area you had on March 5th. And since then, you got Bitcoin up more than $10,000. And boy, watch out, man. We start breaking highs again. You better watch out for Bitcoin. Crude hanging above $82. And yeah, we're talking about higher highs and higher lows since December 13th. You had a $67 price point on December 13th, and since then, it has been higher prices coming at you as we are coming into almost April trading. And yeah, you're coming into the summer season. Gold, 22.10 right now, call it 22.11. As I mentioned, you get a rollover in gold. So we're not up $40 from where we were yesterday. We're up about $12. In the futures, you get a bump up as you roll over on contracts. So keep that one in mind as you look at those price tags of gold. And then notes and bonds, yeah, we got a little bit of lower price and higher yield. You're talking about a yield right now of about 4.26%. And we jump over to DJT. Well, I hope you weren't buying at $78 because just like that, you're down about 15 or 16% from where that equity was. Can't wait to see where this thing goes. There's your minute chart. $78.88. 80 cents on the open. We're trading at 65.98 right now on DJT. And yeah, you're talking about an equity that's valued somewhere in the ballpark of $7 billion, something like that. We'll have to figure out how many shares there are. Now, what is going to be probably the story that persists on this equity over the next 6 months, okay, is when Trump can sell. Trump-friendly Truth Social board to decide when he can sell. Now, what's so interesting here, okay, and we got a quick education of this with Mr. Elon Musk and the independent nature of, as they're talking about Tesla in the den too. Let's check out Tesla. There's a bid for you to 178.60. Part of the reason why that $55 billion pay package was rescinded had to do with the fact that the board of directors and the independent nature or lack thereof of the board of directors in terms of Tesla, his relationship with the board, the quid pro quo in terms of their ability to make money versus his ability to make money, and the independent nature. Now, if you are listed on the NASDAQ, okay, a rule of the NASDAQ, I'll even pull it up. I mean, it's on the NASDAQ website. Let's see if it comes up here when I click this one. The rule is you have to have a majority of the board of directors must be comprised of, quote unquote, independent directors, okay? And that is rule 5605A2, whatever that is. Nonetheless, it makes sense, okay? And these rules were put in place to protect shareholders, okay? So you have to have a majority of independent directors is what the number is there. Now, we'll go over some of these directors, okay? First of all, his son's on there. Well, he's not going to be considered independent, and that's okay. You don't have to have everybody be independent. You just have to have a majority of the board. I believe there are 7 members of the board on Truth Social. It begins trading today. The market value, roughly $6.8 billion. Trump owns 60% of that company. 60% of that company is what he owns. Not many times do you have a company going public with one single person owning 60% of the equity and it pushing a valuation of almost $10 billion. And meanwhile, you're taking in a few $1 million, you're losing tens of millions of dollars, okay? And what they get into here is the 7-member board, there you go, would need to grant Trump a waiver if he wished to make moves before the 6-month lockup, okay? Here it is. Typically, people involved in the type of deals that brought Truth Social to the stock market are not allowed to sell or even borrow against their shares for 6 months, okay? The 7-member board would need to grant Trump a waiver well, in the world of getting in line, folks, okay, do not expect this board to somehow gain a backbone when it is run by people like his son, okay, people like Devin Nunes, who is, I believe, the CEO there, okay. You have the 7-member group includes Donald Trump Jr., 3 former members of the Trump administration, Robert Lighthizer, Kash Patel, whom Trump was thinking about putting at the CIA at one point, and the FBI. And then you have Linda McMahon, the former head of the SBA, and, of course, the wife of Vince McMahon, the co-founder of the WWE. Okay? Then you also have Eric Swider, a longtime lawyer. You have Eric Swider and then a longtime lawyer named W. Kyle Green. And they point out here that Swider and Green's ties to Trump are not immediately clear. However, Linda McMahon is listed as an independent director. Now, what I don't understand and what this article, unfortunately, does not do a good job of doing, okay, this is the Journal, and it's such a bummer that you got people getting paid godly amounts of money to write articles like this, okay? Nowhere in this article do they list that in the NASDAQ, you need to have a majority of your board of directors be independent. That I had to look up myself. I knew that was probably the case, okay? But all they mention in here is that Green, Lighthizer, and McMahon are listed as independent directors. Meanwhile, they mention there are 7 directors for the company. You're supposed to have a majority be independent. So who's the 4th one that's independent? There's probably one of those 4 is listed as independent. That is the rule to be listed on the NASDAQ, which is where this stock DJT is going to be trading. Okay. Yeah. So nonetheless, pay attention, man. It's going to be a volatile trading day, month, week, months as it goes. That's the daily. We're trading at basically lows. That's your spike. And yes, it looks to be halted. Maybe that's what happened there. I don't know. We're going to find out, man. We're all going to get an education. But yes, it does look to be halted as it has not traded in about 5 minutes. Maybe that's some type of, there we go. We got it trading again. You spiked to 68.35 right now. We're back to 69.52. You were up to 78.80. And we will see where they go from there. But keep in mind, folks, when you say he can't sell for 6 months, when you see the fanboys out there saying, hey, don't worry, he can't sell, there's a lockup period. Remember how this goes. The board controls everything. His son's on the board. The independent directors include Linda McMahon, who is, in my opinion, not independent enough to being protecting the shareholders versus protecting Donald J. Trump. We're all going to get an education, man. My dad was talking about a great analysis talking about GoPro yesterday on his program, okay, talking about GoPro and how the gentleman who founded GoPro was able to somehow meander himself to a waiver to selling GoPro shares in like the 70s, and that equity's trading at $2 or $3 now. They concocted some type of a story that he needed to sell because he was going to put it into a nonprofit. Those rules exist for a reason, folks, okay? And we all know they exist for a reason. So pay attention to that one as this thing marches forward, because he's going to need some capital, man. It is election season. And the other reason you're going to need some capital is because you got a company valued at billions of dollars that doesn't make money. And I'm not even sure they have a plan to make money going forward. Stay tuned, folks. We're coming back. We're talking different equities. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of Basil's educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We got markets chopping around pretty much where we kicked off the session. You got the S&Ps right now up by 9, NASDAQ up by 56. You get the Dow up by about 18 right now. You jump over to Meta shares. They're catching a pop today up by 1.2% right now. Check out that acceleration, man. Trading at 508. Pretty remarkable when you back things up. You got to go back more than a year now to that low of $88. And what's so remarkable, right? So Facebook Meta has about 2.5 billion shares. We'll stay with social media today since it's going to be a discussion, man. Meta shares, you jump over to the Analyze tab on the Thinkorswim platform. You slide down 2.55, we'll call it, billion shares outstanding. So when they were sitting at about $88, that put their valuation, what is it, 88 times 2.5, $220 billion, okay, is where that equity was trading at market cap-wise. Absolutely remarkable when you think about down at that price level at $88. Right now, yeah, not the case. You're trading at $1.3 trillion for Meta shares. Quite the acceleration, right? We jump over to some of the other tech companies. Google shares, you're up by about 0.3% right now. We'll back it up to a 5-minute chart to see the volatility this morning. We jump over to Amazon shares, up by about 0.2%. They're talking about Tesla in the den. Check it out. Tesla up by 5.1% right now. That's an acceleration for you for Tesla shares. There you go. Apple, the big dog, they just continue to take it on the chin, man. Apple off 0.5%, even though you got some of those other equities really trading higher. We jump over to NVIDIA shares. Up another 0.5% for NVIDIA. AMD and Intel were trading lower yesterday. AMD down about 0.7%. They were trading lower after spiking, though. AMD down 0.6%, I'll say. And Intel shares right now basically flat, trading at 41.87. And, you know, it's going to be talked about endlessly, man, talking about the upside, okay, for Truth Social. And you can believe that, folks, and that's the beauty of the market. If you believe that, go buy some DJT at $70 if you think there's upside, okay? That's the beauty of the market. It's trading right now at $68.80. We've seen how these things go before. The thing that's remarkable is at some point, usually, not all the time, right? Not all the time, but at some point, the fundamentals usually catch up with the market capitalization of a company. And even with the promise of potentially, you know, listen, Trump wins the White House, man. He controls it. He's putting the messaging out there for 4 years. Yeah, there's some upside, but the upside starts from a losing position, and it starts from a valuation of billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars, which is where, you know, you got to have upside from the market capitalization. Kevin Hinks has a great quote, which is, at some price point of any company, I would be a buyer, and at some price point of any company, I would be a seller, because at any price point, you can be overvalued and undervalued. So be careful getting caught up in that valuation. When you're talking about bringing in, what was it, like $3 million of sales, losing millions of dollars, and you come to market at $7-8 billion. And then keep in mind of the asterisk in there, of the potential selling that would ensue. And I don't think we've ever seen anything like, if they ever give Trump a waiver for the person who owns 60% of the shares to be able to sell coming into the market. Be careful, as boy, you talk about volatility. We might all get a lesson in volatility, and we saw it with the meme stocks, which is why I say not always does it make sense, man. There are a lot of head scratchers in the meme stocks, and this might turn out to be the ultimate meme stock in terms of defying rational behavior. But stocks defy rational behavior all the time, folks. And in the world of Donald J. Trump, if you didn't hear it, he won both the club championship and the senior club championship, folks. I would love to see the people competing against Mr. Trump at his own golf club, and somehow he's winning both of those. So if you think that there's reason and you think there's rational behavior going on across the board, don't believe that, and it doesn't have to be the case with this equity. So you want to trade it, you want volatility, you're going to get some volatility. That's the one that we know for sure. All right, let's jump around to what else we got going on in this market right now. What are we talking about? Let's see. What do we got? Yeah, that one's interesting. We talked about Trump. We talked about Bitcoin. We talked about the bridge as well. What else we got? Yeah, let's talk about this one, man. So Krispy Kreme, how about it? Krispy Kreme, McDonald's. McDonald's is going to be selling donuts. And I think it was 2026, right? They're really looking out here. Yes, by the end of 2026, McDonald's said it's going to start rolling out the donuts in the second half of this year, and they're going to be available all over the country by the end of 2026. McDonald's had already started trialing the rollout of the rollout of Krispy Kreme donuts at some locations. And yeah, Krispy Kreme's been in a little bit of trouble, but boy, that's a nice one when you think about how they get done in terms of, and what's their symbol? I should know it. There we go, donut, of course. There's your acceleration, man. Up 18% on that news, but be careful, okay? Because all you're doing is you're coming into where we were at the beginning of the year in Krispy Kreme. You jump up to 1541 was the high to start the year, basically. You just spiked to 1575. You were trading lower to $12. And yes, that's going to put some bids into that market. Nothing like doing business with McDonald's, man. But I found that one interesting. And there's McDonald's for you. If you're keeping track of McDonald's, man, put this channel line on your radar, because you talk about a channel line, right? You take COVID volatility out of it. McDonald's has been in an uptrend channel since the lows of 2015. Pretty remarkable. You're in the middle of that channel line right now. On a monthly basis, McDonald's trading lower from 296, but boy, you get a pullback to the 260 area, depending on how long that pullback takes. That might be a buy. There's nothing like McDonald's, man, in America, everywhere, worldwide, essentially. Mickey D's down a little bit, 0.1% today, but I'm glad I got a chance. Look at how well-defined that channel line is on the upper and lower boundary. Just many occasions, you're bouncing right off that area. You're trading at 278 right now. McDonald's shares down about 0.1%. Yeah, and there's your action on their volatility. All right, we check back on Tesla. They're having quite a run today, up by 5.2% to 181.60. We check back for Apple as they're pulling lower, down about 0.4%, 170.47. We check in on Boeing. Yeah, Boeing giving it up. Look at that. Look at that, man. Boeing, yeah, right back to where you were prior to the CEO news. No bid whatsoever. 189.63. Boeing down another full percent. And United actually catches a bid, up by 1% so far this morning, trading at 45.37. We keep our eye on crude, pulling back a bit to 81.77. We got to check out that gold contract, pulling back a bit as well. Gold was up to 22.20 early in the session. We're trading at 22.05. And folks, yesterday my dad put out his 1144th gold report. 1,144 consecutive weeks of writing the gold report. An amazing achievement. Congrats to him. I know we got plenty of gold report subscribers out there, and he's got an announcement coming out on his program today, folks. Stay tuned. We got a heck of a sale that's going to be going on, so look forward to that. I think there's still plenty of time to get into this gold report, man. In this gold market, I should say. We do not own any gold equities in my newsletter, but boy, I've been looking, man, because these gold equities have been on a run, and this just might be the beginning. When you look at where the dollar is, right? He was talking about in his program yesterday. Just look at how well on a daily basis in terms of what's happened in the dollar, right? From March 8th, you had the dollar plow higher from 102.50 to almost 104.50, and even over that time, okay, you got the gold contract just consolidate, right? Meanwhile, when you have that type of strength, normally you'd see quite a little pullback in gold. Hasn't been the case. You just gold consolidating right near the 2,200 price point. And boy, if you ever get a breakout, man, if you ever get a real pullback in this dollar index, watch out for that gold contract, man. Stay tuned, folks. One more segment. We'll be coming back. Don't go away.
The Gold Report. As a precious metal, gold is still king. It continues to hold the most effective safe haven and hedging properties across the global major trading hubs of the London OTC market, the U.S. futures market, and the Shanghai Gold Exchange. The Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his weekly gold report every Monday morning for subscribers, consisting of coverage of the XAU, HUI, GDX, the dollar, bonds, the South African rand, as well as 25 different mining equities with specific buy-sell recommendations. The Gold Report. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Subscribe to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report newsletter now at TFNN.com.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of Basil's educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got markets in positive territory. Taking a look at Walmart. You talk about an acceleration, man. quite the drop-off for Walmart in the middle of 2022. In 2023, you chop around briefly, and boy, this thing's on quite a tear, up 20% from the lows of December 11th. And yes, we got markets accelerating, but you don't always see Walmart trading to that degree, right? Quite a tear. You take a look at Target, a little bit of a different story, but they've been on quite a tear as well from where they were in November. Not quite at the highs, though. 268 from 2021, man, versus you take a look at Walmart making all-time highs. When is that? Last week? Yeah, for 61.66. Now, I pull them up, and then we take a look at Kroger, okay? Quite the acceleration on their recent earnings to 56.24. And the last story we're going to talk about, man, it's going to be an interesting one as the landscape is always changing, okay? Especially when it comes to Walmart. And this is talking about a $20 billion deal with Kroger's planned Albertsons takeover, okay? So $20 billion deal depends on whether you think Walmart is a supermarket. I mean, tough to say they're not, right? But it is interesting when you talk about the anti-competitive nature if you have supermarkets going away and then you're just going to have Walmart. And what can they do? I mean, maybe they just bring people into the stores with groceries. Maybe they force them in there, right? There's a lot that can be said when you're not the traditional supermarket and they rely on so much more. But guess what? The numbers do not lie. The U.S. grocery market share, check out Walmart. How about 28.4% of the U.S. grocery market share? Tough not to call them a grocery store when they basically control almost 30% of the market. The other big players here are Kroger, Costco, Albertsons, and good old Publix. Okay, Publix, about 5%. Albertsons, 6.4%. Kroger, about 10%. Costco, pushing 9.2%. Now, which is interesting. Walmart, they encapsulate Sam's, which I enjoy as well. But this article talks about they're battling it out, Kroger and Albertsons. They're fighting in court to defend their $20 billion deal, arguing that markets like Greeley, Colorado, okay, and that's what they're talking about. They're going into exact specific markets in terms of this is going to eliminate all competition besides Walmart. And how does that play out when it's just going to be one grocery store and then Walmart? Folks, wish I had more time. Stay tuned. You got Basil coming up next, and don't miss my dad's show this afternoon. He's got that Gold Report special coming up.